Well, good morning. You're on with Big J, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to talk sports, news, and information. We want to say that we appreciate everyone across the board on our Instagram, on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook, even down to our podcast and other principles of forms that we are on. We celebrate you and we say good morning, either afternoon or evening. We're excited to be on again and talk to you about the narrative of sports. We're excited because we're looking not only to bring you sports, but news and information. But today, I want to talk about something that's really exciting, but no one is really dealing with. But before I continue, make sure that you go by our podcast, Big J, Let's Talk, on all social media podcast platforms and hit that follow button. Whether you want to follow us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, iHeart Radio, whichever one, just hit follow. We do appreciate you. And if you can go to our web server, which is podomatic.com, and look up Big J, you can also follow there, and we'll see it in the analytics. So again, we appreciate you for being on with your host this morning, and we are excited to bring you again sports news and information. Please subscribe to our channel, and if you have, we say thank you again because you are truly amazing. So let's talk. And what I want to talk about is the narrative for the NCAA. College sports is shifting and it's changing, and the National Collegiate Athletic Association, they are concerned and they are worried. For many, many years and many moons, the underprivileged athlete has had to rely on scholarships and support from family and friends, even though they make the institution of education millions of dollars on the name. We saw this when Ed O'Bannon sued the NCAA and EA Sports for using his picture after the Final Four where UCLA won. And he was compensated for that. I believe that they never wanted that to happen again. But with so many distributors now and so many games and so much going on, the athlete now is finding their advantage to be true based on an unfair narrative presented by the NCAA for years that kept them out of the financial loop. Well, guess what? That has changed and the rules have changed. I don't know if you know it, but Percy, his sons, and I know you know who that is, his sons just signed one when he gets out of high school, $1 million deal with somebody, and the older son just signed a $2 million deal. I don't know what it's about yet. That's Master P, Percy. They're not talking about it. But his older son just signed a $2 million deal, and that will not bother his college eligibility because he's attending an HBCU. Man, that is amazing news that athletes now can brand themselves while in college, earn money, earn a living, and at the same time take care of their families. What a lot of individuals don't talk about, most of these kids have families, whether it be girls or young men. They have families. All right. Some individuals have jumped off, even got married, and this will be good now for them. And watch what would happen now. You would have individuals like Lamelo Ball, who has a great marketing face and name internationally. LaMelo Ball could have went to college for 4 years. If this was in play, he would have earned much more money through endorsements than he has now. He would have been set going into the NBA draft. See what this does? It puts to sleep the notion of Michael Jordan that players need to earn things. Well, how is it that you are a 4-year running back on a NCAA team and in your 4th year when you are to be drafted, you tore your ACL or you injured your body to where you are not protected? See what this does now? It protects the athlete and it gives them the right and the entitlement to brand their own names and their own image along with their jerseys. That's amazing. And what the NCAA now, they're scared. They're rewriting the rule book. They're changing things. The one and done rule, all that's going to change. Why? Because now you have, for example, the G League of the NBA. They're giving players who won't go to college, come with us and we'll give you $100,000. So to be competitive and get the athlete, the student back in the college, what they're doing, they're allowing the kids now to brand themselves, to brand their names, their clothing, their shoes, everything. This is going to change the entire narrative of pro sports because of the NCAA having to bow and break tradition because the student athlete deserves to be compensated for what they're doing. Consider this. If we really look at it and look at how long players last in the NFL or the NBA, and that's all because of what their bodies, the abuse that it took playing on Saturdays, playing baseball, playing football, running track and field, doing things never earning a dollar. There are many high school players now who their knees are torn up. Their shoulders are torn up. So much have gone on to where they did go to Division One or Division Two, and they did play just to get to the next pro level and to be told that you can't because of too many injuries. See, now what this does though, it gives that athlete who's a star, a 5 or a 4-star recruit who has either had an injury or something has happened in his or her family to where they had to back up, but at least for what was paid to the NCAA, now they are compensated for what they're doing on the basketball court, on the football field, on the baseball diamond. They deserve it. Could you imagine again Lamelo Ball going to UCLA or going to Duke, and for 4 years, because of his likeness and his image and his brand, he would be taken care of and could play sports from a position of relaxation, yet work hard because there are no financial hurdles and there are no things that says he can't compete on this level because he earned money in Lithuania. See, the politics are being removed. The politics are being taken down. And yes, we are going to see a new day in sports. And I'm excited. When I was reading the ticker wire tonight, I'm like, oh, I got to do a show. I got to do a podcast and a YouTube because the student athlete needs to know that these things that were done by Ed O'Bannon, Charles O'Bannon, other individuals who went and protested. Like I say now, Master P's son going into an HBCU. He just got an endorsement deal that has nothing to do with basketball for $2 million. So he'll be able to go to college with his tuition paid, no worries, even though that, because Master P is his dad. I love when Master P says they have to earn their own way. Even though I have money, they watch me still hustle. I got my cereal. I got my popcorn. I got this. I got my chips. You know, I got this. I got that. He never says they have it. They don't have an entitlement or the right to say what's the father. It's theirs because they have to make their own way. And for what I understand, both of his kids are geniuses when it comes to technology. But one of the children, the one who now is going to an HBCU, he just signed a deal. Master P was there on negotiation for $2 million. They wanted 2.5, but they settled for $2 million. Now, the second son, who is still in high school when he graduates, there's been an amount set for him also of $1 million. Now, if they were to play college sports before all the rule change, they would have had to take the chance of playing college sports with no money when they get done, and dad said, you got to go make your way. But look at them now. It is self-evident, and that we see and understand that it only takes the pursuit of what's right. And when one individual breaks the pattern of disunity, it causes unity among athletes and individuals alike. So again, I want to say thank you for tuning in with us. Don't forget to go by our podcast. Don't forget to visit Big J. Any social media narrative that has a podcast, you can find us there. We also want to take other individuals on our panel with us so we can have discussions, and also you be on the podcast so you'll be heard around the world. We are in 48 countries. France and Italy are our greatest audience who do the most downloads, and we want to say thank you to them. Thank you to Nigeria and Africa and all the places that we look at when we study the analytics, that you're downloading what you hear. It means a lot, and we want to say thank you again. We're forever working on our equipment. Whatever you can do when you come live to support our super chats, because we don't ask for anything at all, but we would love your support. First of all, make sure you subscribe on YouTube to Big J Let's Talk. We see it happening and we see it growing. Thank you so much. And we want to say, if you get a chance, smash the like button. Also, leave a comment, because the algorithm loves you. And guess what? We appreciate you too. So make sure that you leave a comment on this subject. It's very important, because we're trying to get to 5,000 subs. You would help us, wouldn't you? I know it. I know you will. And thank you so much. Again, you've been on with Big J. And you know what I'm going to say at this time. Be the best. And the best you will become. Yay, yay.